Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, tales of Tamriel. I am your host Arkhaniir, and joining me today, there is Lotus. How are you doing, Lotus?
I'm good, but I just muted and unmuted myself like 11 times. So
Oh, well.
that's a good start to things already. But I'm good, and hopefully more awake than usual. It's morning for me now instead of night.
Well, it's a welcome change for at least me doing this at evening.
Yeah, this has got to be an all-around change for the whole cast here.
Yeah.
And Promethean is also joining us. How are you doing, Promethean?
Good. I'm doing well. Wide awake and ready to record.
Well, that's good, that's good. As you can notice, Aggelos is not here. Friday night, he was not feeling well, so he let us know that he wasn't going to be on the show. So we decided, you know what, if Aggelos is not here, we could try to do this on the weekend, and maybe have Nate on the show. Unfortunately, that didn't work for this week.
It still didn't work.
Yeah, he's out. He was out all Saturday, and on Sundays he has his own podcast, the text message podcast. So that takes up all day. But maybe in the upcoming weeks we'll get a chance to have Nate back on the show. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, see, we actually made a proper intro, I believe, this time.
Right?
Yeah.
Very official.
Yeah.
I guess the problem was Aggelos. That said, we gotta give a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, Twitch subscribers, anyone who leaves an iTunes review, all the good stuff and things like that you do to help support us. All that keeps the show going and keeps the metaphorical torches lit, as Aggelos always says, and I wasn't able to do so because it's a difficult word to pronounce.
Yep.
Whew. And
So
chat
have they
room, hello. Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I'm sorry. Have they fixed the iTunes reviews yet so we can,
Actually acknowledge people?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, even if they did, I don't have access to those. As well as the Patreon list and Twitch
Yeah.
subscriber list.
Oh,
So,
okay. So,
Aggelos needs to be here too.
Even still, I feel like I'm not... I've heard a couple other podcasts I listen to talking about how theirs are completely broken as well. So
Oh, okay.
I think that might mean that they're still broken.
Yeah, but yeah, could be. But I mean, when Aggelos is back, he'll let us know all the names.
yeah.
And chat
Right.
room, thank you so much for being here. I already see a few names. Also a name from the Guar cult, so that...
Yes, that is one of my that's one of my buddies who we do all that when we originally started the whole 3 DPS and a tank thing.
Yep.
He is one of our original. He's one of our sorks.
I know the name. Yes. All right, so we will start the show, and we will start it with. Some may call it grim news. I guess sad and.
Yes,
I don't know how to
happy for him.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. So, if you haven't heard already, the Loremaster that we all love, Lawrence has left ZeniMax Online, and we have the farewell letter as well that Promethean will read in a bit. But I just want to start the show saying that thank you for all you have done for Elderscrolls Online. This has been one amazing journey, and it's definitely wouldn't have been as amazing without Lawrence Schick leading the lore side of things. And yeah, I mean, it's sad for us to see him leave, but obviously everyone has their reasons. And,
Right.
And in the farewell letter, we'll end up saying more about why he left, but yes, that's that's how we wanted to start the show. And yeah, anything you guys want to say before we get into the farewell letter? Hopefully doing this without crying.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the goal, isn't it? I read the first
to try to hold it together to read through.
Yeah. I did. The first time I read it, I did actually, I got some tears in my eyes. It was I was in the middle of class too, and I was like, oh no, I probably look insane.
Yeah, that was, I believe Cash from the Lore Seekers had the same problem. He was like, oh man, he's like, I was not reading that too well. He's like, that didn't go great.
And I don't know why, because like, I don't know, it's just that I've been like, you play it for so long and you get so attached to the game, and then the way the way that he thinks about the game and the lore is just always like so heartfelt and
very forward facing too as well.
Yeah.
So
yep.
It's his like charisma too. You know, whenever he was doing an interview or talking, you were like, man, yeah, I like him. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was just, it was a little rough reading it, but I should be able to keep it together for this.
Right. Well, in that case, take it away, Promethean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was released on the 6th, if you haven't read it. So it says, as the scrolls foretold, our Loremaster is leaving to begin his next great adventure. Read a farewell letter from Loremaster Lawrence to the ESO community. And so here it goes. For family reasons, I am leaving ZeniMax Online Studios and my role as the Elderscrolls Online's Loremaster after a long and happy tenure in the position. The community team asked me to write a farewell letter about my time wrangling the lore of Tamriel for ESO. Well, I'm not going to do that. Instead of writing about me and my time contributing to the lore at large, I'm going to write about you, the community of ESO players, and what you mean to the lore. If you want to know who I am and what ESO was for me, you can read it between the lines of this brief essay. Tamriel is an unusual fantasy world setting in that it was created over time by many different contributors rather than by one single vision. At some point, the folks at Bethesda Game Studios realized that for an interactive world, that patchwork background was actually a virtue rather than a liability, something that should be recognized and incorporated into Tamriel's design. So the Brain Trust decided that all of the Elder Scrolls world's history, mythology, and culture, its lore in short, would be delivered not from on high, but always from the viewpoints of characters who inhabited the world they were describing. And these descriptions might vary, or even contradict each other, leaving it up to the players to decide what was and wasn't true. Tamriel is a world where all history, past and future, is described in the ever-shifting text of mysterious Elder Scrolls, which tell always of what might be rather than of what is. And this is a uniquely suitable setting for a multiplayer online game that hosts players of many cultures and backgrounds. What could be better for characters in a role-playing game than an expansive world of many different cultures, each with its own history and myths, so you can be whoever you want to be? That sounds great, but what should your character believe is really true? Since all of the stories of this world come from characters in the setting itself, you can listen to them and read their books. You can decide that for yourself. And whatever that is, it's as right as any other character's beliefs, player or non-player, because your character lives in the same world they do. And what your character does and says and believes becomes part of that world. For you and whoever else shares the experience, what happened is now part of the lore. The non-player characters are all there, ready to share their stories with you, but it's you who makes these stories live. Because your character has agency and meaningful choice, where the NPCs do not. Moreover, what your character does persists for you, and the stories you've told and the experiences you've shared with your friends live on in your own memories. You just added to the history of Tamriel. And not just in your memories, because Tamriel is a world that continues in constant development, and where that world goes next depends upon what you did and how you reacted to it. The game devs pay close attention to what you liked and what you didn't. Recurring characters like Razumdar and Naryuvirian don't come back because the game devs think they should. They recur because you. What you do in Tamriel and how you feel about what you did... Oh, I totally missed the line. Because you told the game devs that your experiences with those characters were significant and memorable. What you do in Tamriel and how you feel about what you did steers the direction of future development. I hope you can see how important the community's contribution is to ESO and our collective world of Tamriel. The lore of the Elder Scrolls is a vast mosaic scattered with colorful story stones, and over time, the game devs and players, in an ongoing dialogue, fill the space between with new stories and experiences that interconnect with old ones and make the world richer and more complex. So be the person in Tamriel whom you want to be, coming from a culture you want to roleplay with the belief system that best expresses your character's personality and background. Whoever you want to be, there's a place for you here. The lore is yours. And that's the message from Lawrence. And then Zos has a little side note that says, to Lawrence, from all of us here at Zos, thank you for guiding us through the incredible and often contradictory world of Elder Scrolls. Without your knowledge, passion, and yes, patience, our game would not be what it is today. Thank you.
Man.
That's the end of that.
Yeah.
Gut-wrenching article.
But yeah, by the way, Benevolent Bode and Casual Ranger, hello to you in chat. They are two amazing content creators.
Indeed.
Yeah.
In hashtag ESOFam or just general Elder Scrolls Online. They are both very active on Twitter that you should follow.
Yes, you should.
As Benevolent Bode mentioned, he said, fun fact, Lawrence will remain immortalized in the Enchanting Station voiceovers, which I didn't know it was Lawrence.
I didn't know that.
It's funny, he said that, he's like, oh, maybe we should just double check to confirm, but now that he says that, I can totally see that sounds like him with some like audio overlays on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's got the same like soft tone to it, but like I was like, oh, that actually kind of does seem likely if that's the case.
I'll have to launch the game and pay attention, because I do very rarely. Enchanting is something I don't do much, but I hope it is.
Yeah, I'll check when I do my writs today.
It was actually
that is super amusing.
On Twitter, it was actually both Sigrid and Lore Seekers mentioned that there has to be something in the game to honor Lawrence Schick. Like it could be a statue, it could be an NPC that as Lore Seeker said, NPC that watches over books, for example, at a library.
So funny thing, have you guys happened to notice on Twitter, I believe it was Cash from Lore Seekers, he made Lawrence Schick as a new character. And it looks exactly like Lawrence. First of all, with good. All the ridiculous people we keep making with this thing, yourself included, Ark, this is a really good character editor. You can do a lot of stuff with that. Because when they posted, it was like, oh my god, that's really that looks like Lawrence Schick in video game form. I was like, you're a Breton, Lawrence Schick. I never realized.
Like the outfit and everything. I was like, oh
it was really well done.
I mean, if you think about it, Sheogorath in Elder Scrolls Online
looks kind of like
he looks a lot
yeah
he could be
it's really well done.
It is.
But yeah, I hope we get something. I mean, everybody wants it. Zas, if you listen to this, give us something. Like it could be a book, I don't know, something with Lawrence Schick.
Even if it's not that big, I feel like him in the Mages Guild in the capital cities would suffice for me. Because they're collecting all of the books and everything, and if there's just a little one and you can go chat with him, even if it's not that much, but I think that would be super cool.
It doesn't have to be name should be Lawrence Schick, Loremaster. We'll know. No. We the players will know. Just make something
just
immersive and lore friendly. And we'll know that it's him. And it'll be fine. It doesn't have to be a giant, massive statue in the middle of Vivek City.
Vivek City is now just called Schick City.
Oh God, Schick City.
I mean, they've done stuff. They've done stuff like that in Bethesda proper with Fallout 4. They had one of their fans passed away before the game launched. I believe he had cancer or something like that. And at the bottom of their Nuka World expansion, there's a little hut, and there's this dude just kind of fishing out in the docks. And if you talk to him, he gives you just stuff. And apparently that is a tribute to the person. That's the actual person. And everybody always said how giving he was. And so that's why they programmed him to give you free stuff every time he stops by. He just gives you a free gift. And I was like, oh, that's super, God. So it's they've done stuff like that before, at the main thing. And I mean, they are sister companies, so it's I could see them being oh, we can totally come up with a way to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, an NPC that every time you talk to him gives you a random lore fact. It would be amazing. It's
right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just write an API directly fed into Zos lore base
and contradict it with Maik, and you can try to determine which one's true and which one's not.
Oh, that would be so fun. That would be so. Imagine that there's like a Lawrence Schick roaming around that you have to find, and then there's also Maik, and they're each telling opposite stories.
Zos hear us. Come on, you gotta give this to your players,
right?
We need it. But Lawrence has left ESO. I honestly don't know how this will affect ZeniMax Online and future of Elder Scrolls Online, because I still haven't grasped the concept of like, how do you become a lore master for a game in the first place?
Right. So,
and how do you even be replaced if needed? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember where I was looking, but they said that previously he was... Oh shoot, he worked on like Dungeons and Dragons and like a bunch of tabletop games. And so they like use the experience from that somehow. And I feel like he was like a lore master for another game too. I can't remember, but they like use outside experience about like just games in general, essentially.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't, it's not just experience. He knew.
Well, it's a lot to remember. And I mean, that dude would, like, even when he was on ESO Live and stuff like that, and they obviously have stuff tailored to keep the show flow going, and it's not totally free form. But I mean, they would ask him stuff, and he would just like rifle off the information, and he'd never stumble over these impossible words like from Dwemer Ruins that they have one vowel in 42 letters, and the guy's like, "Oh no, you just pronounce it like this." It's like, okay, like,
I mean,
even if you made that up, that's impressive.
That's what I'm curious. Like, do you just apply? Let's say another person is going to become the new lore master at ZeniMax Online Studios, for example. Do they just lock him up for 6 months with all the lore possible, and he just reads until he's announced as the new lore master? How do you even start there, you know? It's
right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, I suppose, how it all goes.
Yeah. But the other thing is, which I'm not sure, because I've had a couple people, he was brought on quite a few years ago now, but he was brought on from this. He obviously did learn like all of the stuff that had been laid out, and then like kind of, I think, worked with it, because there's actually some pretty interesting stuff if you look them up, like documentary wise, on like histories of Elder Scrolls, like the actual company, like the business side of stuff. And it's like the guy who originally started the Elder Scrolls, he was ousted from his own company before like Morrowind, I believe it was. So like Lawrence Schick obviously had to scoop up what was given, and I think the reason he was so good at this is he scooped up what was there, combined it with his knowledge of all that other stuff, and then was just like, okay, I'm just gonna really, really make this flow so that it all makes sense with itself, since this is like my thing. And that's kind of the thing, is he seemed so dedicated to getting everything to like flow and work properly. It's just like, oh man, you were really good at your job.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, it kind of, I mean, I don't know if it would help or hurt that there's also that unreliable narrator type situation. Like, I don't know if that makes it any easier or any harder for...
I like that, because I mean...
I like it, but I'm wondering from like a logistical, like from Lawrence having to like deal with all of this, does that make it easier or harder?
Right, because it's like I have to account for all of those. Yeah.
Right, like which one is actually true, because we don't really know, and they're all true.
Yeah, and you got to try to keep them straight and pick and choose the parts that actually did. Yeah, that's so, I cannot imagine. You're a historian of a thing that doesn't really exist, which is insane. Like, that's crazy to try to keep track of.
Right. So
I would guess from a lore master perspective, it makes his job more difficult, because
I would too.
You can't say at any point, this is what happened. You have to know all the things that were in lore, and you have to say all of those things, like, okay, this may have happened like this according to this, but then according to this, it's...
Yeah, it's like you need to stay ambiguous while also providing facts to things. It's like a good luck, man. Like,
yeah.
That isn't... Okay.
But,
so, Lotus, now that we are talking about, Loremaster and the developers, you have a networking on Learn section that is also dedicated to this, so...
Right. So just kind of in honor of Lawrence Schick, and to be fair, I mean, it was a little less ceremonious but like with Eric Roble leaving, 2 weeks ago now as well.
Yeah.
There's been some shifts, and this week for networking on Nern, I figured what we could do is kind of do a shout out to the entire ZOS team, both presently still making the game that we all play and those that have left. The people that the list is enormous. There's a lot of people who work on this game, but like so many of them like to be in our streams. They, group up with us to play the actual game. They have events and they just kind of sit there and chat with us and everything like that. Since they've announced that they're doing the Bethesda Days thing again this year outside PAX East and stuff, I'm super excited because it's like, oh, well, that was better than PAX East last year. So I'm super excited to go to that again. So I just wanted to give a kind of like a personal shout out from all of us at Tales to thank Rich Lambert, Beautiful Jay, Gina Bruno, Jessica Folsom, Dominic Davies, the lead IT and network tech that I actually got to meet at PAX East, who were friends with each other on Twitter, Wayne, Mike Finnegan, Lawrence Schick, and again, Eric Roble, Nick Conkle. You guys aren't there anymore, but at the same time, whether people liked or disliked some of the stuff that they did, it all helped bring us to what we're at now, which is a game that everybody enjoyed. So without that being there, we wouldn't be here. So just kind of wanted to thank the team who's super friendly, does a lot of stuff, and is kind of interesting. Very rarely is the community attached to the actual dev team, but they're just as much of that whole ESO fam as any of the rest of us.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I actually wanted... See, the names here are like the design team, community managers, things. I asked on Twitter to Elder Scrolls Online, where are the developers? Like the coders, the guys who sit down, get buried under thousands of lines of code. And they didn't reply to me. Like, I want to know. If you listen to this, let me know what's your Twitter. Where can I follow you?
Right, because I mean they're the backbone of making it work, and that's the thing I would say. It's like I like that so many of them are forward facing, like and just want to just chat with us or whatever. If anybody who is part of the coding team, don't hesitaate to like also be forward facing. Like we love getting to talk with you guys. You're all super nice. Like
even like the story writers. I know they've had a few of them on ESO Live, but like those people, like they're the artists that they have. Like they're all amazing. Every one of them is just an amazing person.
Right, and that's just it. It's like, so if we didn't name you specifically, it's only because we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't met you. I mean, we would love to.
It's nothing more than that, and would be happy to meet you if you ever do feel like joining the social media group of us. Stuff.
I mean,
please feel free.
I did check out the full list of employees on LinkedIn, actually, but it's on LinkedIn, and I don't want to use it for non-professional interaction,
Exactly. And
I don't want to send a message like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, and for the same reason, I wouldn't want anybody if that's not their thing. Like maybe they don't want to be forward-facing, so it's like that's totally fine too. But it's like I wouldn't want anybody to feel like, oh well, I don't know, I'm not like people on camera a lot. It's like doesn't matter. Like you guys keep our game running, so you bail and I don't play this anymore because it doesn't work. So
So if you're out there, we are here and we would love to talk with you as well. And there's so much insight to get from them as well, like the software team as well, at least on my end. I mean, I can understand them not being on ESO Live because a lot of people would get lost in that discussion. And
right, or bog them down in numbers.
yeah, I mean, there isn't really anything interesting to talk about in terms of software side, unless you are talking to other software people. Then you can be like, oh, there was this bug, and then we solved it doing this, and then...
Yep.
But yeah, but even if you're not on ESO Live or anything, if you're on Twitter, wherever, just let us know.
Yeah, feel free to shoot us stuff and let us know who you are. So that's just it. We're always happy to meet more of you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So before we move on with more news, actually, I wanted to show a video from Aggelos and the Dungeon Crawler Network. If you're on Twitter, you may have seen some people have been getting what is the official Elderscrolls Cookbook. And our very own Aggelos got one as well, and he has a 5-minute unboxing video. I'm gonna put that on, and we are gonna mute ourselves while you listen to Aggelos. And I'm gonna grab some water in the meantime, and then we'll continue with our news, and then our tales, and then one very amazing section by Promethean that I'm not gonna spoil yet. But it involves singing.
I think I've decided too that every once in a while I'm gonna find like either a song or like a poem from the Elder Scrolls and do this like more frequently, since everybody seems to enjoy it so much.
I'm so amused by this.
So.
Oh man. Well, we'll see how this one goes, Promethean.
Yeah.
I mean, if we suddenly lose all our viewers and subscribers,
they all drown themselves in Black Marsh.
All right, I'm muting myself up, and we are gonna watch the video.
Greetings, Tamriel Traveler. I'm Aggelos, founder of the Dungeon Crawler Network and Tales of Tamriel, and we've got a special little thing for you today. It's an unboxing, just a brown paper box. Actually, it's a special something or another, so let's go ahead and dive right on into this. This was actually sent to us by the awesome people over at Insight Editions, and I think you're going to like what's inside. All right, now that we got the box open, partially, there we go. Ooh, let's see what we got inside. Oh my, actually, I'm gonna have to hold this up. We've got some extra little goodies in here, and we'll put them up to the camera. Let's see what's inside. First up, we got a missive. Let's see here. Oh, that's pretty sick. Adventure between executing Draugr, killing dragons, and stealing from the shopkeepers. Curse those baskets. Your journey has left you famished. Please allow us to satisfy your well-earned appetite with a treat. In your package, as delivered by the couriers of FedEx, you will find 2 jars and a tome of unimaginable delight. The larger jar contains a yeast packet, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and a pinch of salt. The smaller jar contains 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. Please open your Tome of Delight, formerly known as the Elder Scrolls, the official cookbook, to page 157, which we will do shortly. This page contains the recipe to Tamriel's most delish treat. We wish that you use the ingredients provided to craft this delectable treat, though some perishables will need to be added. While crafting, please feel free to record your process and upload your video to the mythical land of YouTube. That's what it says. Best, the Publishing Knights of Insight Edition. P.S. Remember, adventure, keep your guard up. These treats tend to be stolen. Very cool. That is actually really awesome to see. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what else we got. First cup of flour and powdered sugar. All right. Can't cook without those. We also got a special treat in here, the Elder Scrolls Online ruled journal. This is pretty neat, guys. I'm sure you've seen this on the stores before, but we got the ruled journal in here. That's so cool. And we can actually add in what we think about the recipes and fun things. I cannot wait to do that. That is beautiful. It's got the ESO logo right on the front. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm running out of desk space with all they sent me. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without the official Elder Scrolls, the official cookbook. All right. Recipes from Skyrim, Morrowind, and across Tamriel. Wow. This is beautiful, guys. This is absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to jump in here. Even though the slightly green things are showing up in my green screen. This is cool. Now, they said 157, so let's see what we got here. Oh, my. This is absolutely amazing, guys. Official Elder Scrolls Cookbook. And of course, 157, the sweet rolls. And I guess it would be kind of difficult to be able to do these sweet rolls if we didn't have... I wonder what this is for. Oh yeah, sweet roll time, guys. Sweet rolls it is. Thank you so much for joining us on this little unboxing of these amazing things, all from Inside Editions and Bethesda. Our next video will probably be cooking something. Well, I should say my wife, Thais, will be cooking something because we don't want to burn down the entire house. But I think we got a lot of recipes to cook from, and I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too.
Yes, I was still muted. That was the official cookbook review, or rather unboxing, from Aggelos himself. And, well, stay tuned on DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com Dungeon Crawler Network YouTube account to see the actual cooking and other stuff that he does with the cookbook. And then I'm going to worry about where can I get one myself in the future. So
and not have to have it sent to you for $4,000.
Yeah, exactly. And normal shipping.
Yeah, that's as slow delivery as possible as well.
Just send it on the next 7 years.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It'll be fine.
It'll arrive just around the time that this Elder Scrolls is coming to an end.
Yeah,
we're getting the next series installment.
I'm very excited for it.
Oh yeah,
cannot wait for the cookbook.
I mean,
yeah, that thing's really cool.
I am curious, what's in that sweet roll that makes it a sweet roll? Because that's a question I never questioned. Well,
yep. It's that moon sugar, man.
Yeah,
take one bite and suddenly now you understand why everybody loves sweet rolls so much.
Why everybody keeps stealing them.
Because everybody is loving them. Like the people who have received the cookbook and made them, they're just raving about them.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious. Is it a psychological effect of it being a sweet roll, or is it actually something that is strange? Because imagine in your life how many different types of desserts that you have eaten or cakes you have eaten. Now, what's different about the sweet roll is what I'm curious about. Because it's a sweet roll. We'll see. Well, we'll have to wait for Aggelos to actually make a video about it. Hopefully, anytime next week, he'll do it and we'll get to see. But until then, stay tuned over at youtube.com/DungeonCrawlerNetwork.
That was that's sort of like a Aggelos level plugin right there.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm slowly learning.
That was impressive.
Well,
Nice.
Now that we've showed that as well, we can, I guess, continue with the usual Tales of Tamriel stuff and our news. Promethean, are you?
Alrighty. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the fun stuff. And, well, it's actually all fun this week, honestly. I'll start with the practical stuff. If you are not an ESO Plus member right now, there is a free trial going on. In which case, if you don't have Bard Info and you want to participate in the Morrowind celebration event, which I'm also going to go over, you have access to Bard Info. The event or the free trial goes from February 7th until February 12th.
Which
if you're unfamiliar with what
might be
ESO
over
Plus...
by the time this show airs, but if you are listening to this live...
Oh, yeah, that's true, because normally this was recorded earlier, so there's more time to... Yeah, so touche.
Yeah. If you're listening live, it's going on right now.
Yeah. If you're not, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes. If you're unfamiliar with what ESO Plus is and all of the great things that come with it, you get full access to all of the DLC game packs, which include zones, quests, dungeons, and more. It does not include the chapters. However, the previous chapter becomes a zone after the new chapter releases. Yeah. So with Somerset's release, Morrowind became a chapter or a zone DLC as opposed to a chapter. And I would assume with Elsewhere, Somerset will become a zone. And you can get that with ESO Plus if you haven't purchased it yet.
Which I do like quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a cool way to...
from getting too far back.
I never played World of Warcraft, but that's something that I've seen, if I'm not wrong. It's like, if you want to get into World of Warcraft after, I don't know, 10 years, obviously, like right about now, you have so many expansions that you have to purchase. I don't know if it's if it's backwards counting, like if you buy the latest one, you get all of them, but if not, imagine like someone who joins this game 4 years later, they have to buy Morrowind expansion, Somerset expansion, Elsewhere expansion, Whiterun expansion, because that's what's gonna be, please us.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I would love that.
I mean, if you purchase at the chapter releases, you get lucky and you can get the previous 2 chapters included and the base game.
Right, so, and they do sales a lot. It's just that's a lot to overwhelm people with when they first start. Because it's just like, oh, by the way, here, if you include the DLC and stuff, it's like, okay, here's 13 expansions. Enjoy. It's just like, oh my god.
I mean, my friend just today asked me that question. I was about to go live at Elite, and she was like, she was talking about starting ESO. She already has the base game from back when 4 or 5 years ago, and she was like, okay, what do I do? There's like Morrowind, Somerset DLC packs with Orsinium, this and this and this. Which one do I buy? I'm like, do you plan on getting ESO Plus? If not, get the one with the most DLCs available.
Yeah, stuff in one day.
Yeah, if you plan on getting ESO Plus at any point during the game, it's gonna take you a long time to complete the base game anyway, with everything. Yeah. So you have time to think about which pack you want to get, but yeah, it can get confusing to new people as to which ones do they want.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends on what you want to play too. Like, if you're not a fan of the, why buy Orsinium?
Sure, or I don't like dungeons. It's like, okay, well, I've got a bunch of things you don't need.
Right, you don't have to buy like 4 DLCs.
Yeah.
So there are ways to skirt around some of the cost. I mean, I've spent all kinds of money purchasing the collector's edition of every one of them.
Yeah.
I completely understand the cost,
fair,
severe, overwhelming nature of these things. Along with all of that, though, the more important thing that you will hear everybody hype up to no end is the unlimited craft bag, which stores all of your crafting materials. It is cross-character. It is the most amazing thing.
My inventory is currently saved until Monday.
Fair warning, if you do not plan on getting ESO Plus, do not log in during ESO Plus free trial, because you will get those crafting bags for that brief moment. Every crafting item you have will be transported to crafting inventory, which you might think, oh, okay, I mean, it may be one time, but it will still empty out my inventory, and you can always, even if your ESO Plus runs out, you can always retrieve from that crafting bag, but you will be... It's like a drug. It's like you won't be able to play this game once you taste it without it.
It's the moon sugar of programming.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's terrible. I think I used it on a trial, and I went back and I was like, oh no, so miserable. Especially as like someone who enjoys the crafting aspect of the game, I was like, oh no, my inventory, my bank, everything.
Oh yeah.
So you also get double bank space, which I consistently fill up,
and double housing space.
Oh
yes, you get double housing space. So that's super nice if you're into housing. You get 10% increase to experience and gold acquisition, crafting, inspiration, and trait research rates.
That's like the most useless bonus of ESO Plus. No one cares about that part, I guess.
Well, the research rates is actually kind of nice.
It's only useful when you're like it's probably great for starting characters, and beyond that, it's like that's a bonus I never realized. Like,
right. The double furnishings and collectible space and player housing, which we just mentioned. You get the exclusive ability to dye costumes, and you also get double transmute crystal storage.
Yep.
If you are interested, the steps to undergo the free trial are on the page. And just as a reminder, this ends on the 12th. If it gets out before then, hopefully you enjoyed it.
Well, it probably won't be out by then. Well, maybe on Tuesday. I'll try to edit it out tomorrow.
To be fair, just if this is the first time you've used ESO Plus, they mention, like you said, like, oh, for more information, and they've got like the connecting link. Literally, it will slap you in the face with it when you log into the game, telling you about it. Just press whatever the corresponding I agree button is, be it X or A, I believe, or I'm not sure what it is on PC. It's not hard to find. So if you're interested, it's very, very easy to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, ESO Plus worth every penny you give to it. And this is coming from someone with a terrible currency exchange rate. And it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. And I don't feel sad about anything I've dropped on ESO in terms of money. So this includes ESO Plus as well, like 4 years of it. Oh my god, 4 years of ESO.
I know, when I think about how much money that is, it's just amazing.
Oh man.
Von Jamenstein said it's $200 a year.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's like a lot. Like, everybody asks me.
It's just a little shy of that. Yep.
Yeah. I don't actually do a whole lot of other gaming. And so all of my money goes here. And then, like, I tell people, I'm like, I've spent probably close to $2,000 on the game over 4 years. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, but this is like all I do. And it's like little stuff. It's not like I'm like $2,000 at once. It's just ESO Plus.
Right. And again, the Lore Seekers once said it best. I'm referencing them for a bunch of quotes recently. They made a reference. I don't know what episode it was, but one of the things that he had mentioned, this is my hobby. So I spend money to keep my hobby going. And it's like,
exactly.
Jump around games and stuff. I get maybe not wanting to do it or whatever, but like, it does make sense if this is your main source of game. It's like, okay, you're going to get the amount of time you're going to just save in spending time in item management and everything is obscene.
Yeah.
So,
plus, I mean, there is now a 1 year subscription option, which drops the money by a lot, which is what I did last time.
Yep.
And I'm not even sad. Like, I sometimes drop ESO for like a month or a couple months at times. And my ESO Plus is, even then, most of the times just active. It's just there. Just in case I log in and I need inventory space.
No, they've definitely added a lot to the value of it. Plus, they give you in-game currency. It used to be equal to what you paid, and now it's more than what you even paid.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
Plus the free items from ESO.
Yeah, free items.
Things like that. Just get ESO Plus. Just eat one dinner, one less dinner outside. Get a couple less
evolved
Starbucks
into just an advertisement on why you should buy ESO Plus.
Drink one less coffee and a month, that is, and you are good to go. Just get that ESO Plus.
Oh, yeah, and Ishabu in chat said, do your writs too.
Yeah, do your writs.
Do your writs.
Yes, do your writs.
If you're not on Twitter and you haven't seen anybody, if you're not doing your writ, I mean, everybody.
Yes. Inkling started that, and it's so funny. It's just do your writs.
I feel like
seen someone say that.
Given the chance, Inkling would beat someone up into doing writs.
Yes, just plug them and just drag them to craft stations and
So
throw them on the table.
Casual Ranger has, I don't know whose actual character it is, but it's called Terry. And he puts it with stuff, with his different crafting writ things, and it's actually like kind of like a creepy looking tune, like a weird, and it's like peeking over the corner at you, and I'm like, oh my god, that would scare me into it. It's like the Freddy of ESO. Oh man, it's quite spooky.
Right.
Also, so if you do use the ESO Plus subscription or the free trial, you get access to Vardenfell and the Morrowind DLC, which we are currently underway for the anniversary event. This started on the 7th of February and goes through the 18th. I believe you can get, they said 26 tickets total this event. So if you're kind of behind, you have a chance to make up a little bit. You get double drops from all resource nodes. This includes jewelry seams, but does not count for survey reports and fishing. I'm not sure why they keep including jewelry seams on this. They are really...
They're really determined to keep that so that it's a rare thing, I guess.
Yeah, and they every time they do this, they're like, oh, jewelry seams are also double. That's a crafting node, so I would think so.
Oh, you know what, actually? I bet because it's coded different, because it's locked behind Somerset.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. Because I'm always so confused. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a crafting node. Of course it would be double drops. But that
actually, on that note, when it becomes... Oh, man, this is derailing hard. Sorry.
I totally forgot on this, but I was going to say that too.
Yeah, assuming that Somerset becomes a legacy chapter and we get it with ESO Plus going forward, does that mean everybody gains access to jewelry crafting? Or is it like the Warden and you have to buy access to jewelry crafting?
I had that thought and then it was gone, and I'm so glad you said that.
Because that would be kind of a weird distinction to draw, where it's just like, oh, well, you have to buy this skill. It's like, I don't know about that. Buying a class is one thing. Buying a skill line that would get interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
I feel like it would be free.
Maybe they would do it. No. Don't think of it like Warden. Think of it like Battlegrounds. They added Battlegrounds to the base game.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, so then that would lead credence to you being able to get it, which is kind of what I hope they do, is just give everybody access to it.
Yep. I mean, if you bought Somerset, you would have a massive head start in jewelry crafting because you would already have 50-50, master jewelry crafters. But if you didn't buy Somerset expansion, then you have to wait a year, which is, I mean, if you know,
that's fine. Yeah. I'm all from somebody who buys it day one and usually buys the douchebag collector's edition physically. Dude, if people want to wait, other people have mentioned in comments, it's like, oh, way to devalue my purchase later. No, incorrect. You were patient. You get it for cheaper or included with something else. Like, I don't feel ripped off. Like, that was my choice to jump right out and get into the newest thing. If you're willing to wait, then you should. That's fine. Reward them for waiting. Like, let's include it with something else.
Yeah. Definitely. So let's see what else we got here. Oh, we have double drops from all bosses, including Halls of Fabrication. So we ran that last night I ran that last night with some guild members to get those nice double drops. You also get double reward boxes from all daily quests in the zone. And this is where we start getting into the tickets and things like that. I'll also point out that the Morrowind DLC is on sale for 1,750 crowns. If you don't have that, that's a 50% discount. It includes the zone and the content, but not the Warden class. You have to buy the Warden separate. The Morrowind Collector's Pack bundle is also on sale for 1,050 crowns. This one does not include the DLC, but you get the items that came with the Collector's Edition, which include the Dwarven Warhorse mount, the Dwarven Spider Pet, you get a Warden Bear skin, you get some emotes for PvP, and you also get the Morag Tong outfit style converter. Okay, and
I forgot about that being a thing.
Yeah, I did. So I like having that, but at the same time, I get really frustrated when I get the master writs that have me do that, and I can't
convert it.
I have to have the actual motif, and I'm like,
yeah, the boiled net chunks or whatever it's called.
Right. I'm like, so this is cool. So that's my only gripe on that. And here we get into event tickets, which is what you're all probably longing to hear about. Event tickets come from two separate things. So you can get one ticket from one of them and another one from the other. So you can get 2 tickets total for every day. One comes from the first World Boss daily you complete every day, and the other one comes from the first Delve daily you complete every day. Both of these are found in the Hall of Justice underneath the Vivek Temple Way Shrine. There's actually, so I misspoke earlier, I said 26, and there's 24 tickets you can earn during the event.
Right.
So let's see, they've introduced the next of the 4 berries for the Dawnwood Indrik. It's the berries of budding. And there was, I can't find the note, but there's this, I thought it was on here. Maybe I saw it on Twitter and I forgot to put it in the show notes. To actually start getting the Hall of Justice dailies, you have to head to Seyda-Neen, and there's a person there. You just have to do the first quest for Vardenfell if you've never been. You complete that, and then once you show up in Vivek City, there's like a little banner, or not a banner, like a poster thing that you just click on and you go talk to the people.
Yeah, you can't just right away start you have to do the Morrowind starter quest to start receiving the daily thingies. I kind of gave up on all tickets though. It's just too much. They never stop. The events never stop.
Yeah. Yes, I've already got all my achievements for the dailies and styles for this, and again, just getting 0 out of this event. I heard the battlegrounds counted. Turns out they don't. Yeah. No, 0 for this event. Like, I'm not. Yeah. I'll grab the next one, whatever.
Yep, they're making it fairly accessible if like you completely miss an event and you
there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. That's all for the Morrowind event. And then we have a nice little thank you from the people over at Cinemax. It says our thanks for ESO's end of year awards. So they said 2018 was a massive year for both ZeniMax Online Studios and the Elder Scrolls Online, and we were very happy with how positively the community reacted to the year's updates and adventures. It was extremely gratifying for us to see our efforts rewarded with a plethora of awards from various publications, including many as voted by you. So this year they won MMORPG.com's Player's Choice for the best MMO, which is their 3rd year in a row. They also won the most improved MMO from the same website. Massively best MMO update or expansion of 2018. I can only assume that was Somerset, with just the reaction to Somerset when it came out.
Yeah, it was Somerset, yeah.
And then Game Informer Reader's Choice 2018, which was the 2nd year in a row. And their gift to us, to show our appreciation for an ESO community that keeps surprising us, we are gifting all active ESO accounts 500 crowns. Here's everything you need to know. 500 crowns will be gifted to all qualifying ESO accounts on February 11th. So that is, if you're watching live tomorrow, you will get them on PC and Mac, and February 13th for Xbox and PlayStation 4. To qualify for the free crowns, you must have logged in between January 1st and February 7th. So most people should be good. They also mentioned that to not forget about the gifting promotion that's going on. Right. So to get the pig, which I still have to do. But,
some people were... Sorry to cut you off. But some people were complaining that, only 500 crowns? Well, it's free.
I know.
Accept it. Yeah. Use it.
I was going to say, in the rare cases that I ever... Because usually I like to, whatever, people do their own thing. If you're complaining about getting free stuff, stop playing and just don't bother the rest of us, please.
So, I mean, that was just crazy.
You can just not spend it. There you go. You got nothing then. Ta-da!
They don't. Yeah, and to my knowledge, they've never given out crowns. Like, ever. As far as, at least that I can remember.
I'm trying to think. They've given us so many things, and it's just like, if it's like complaining about login rewards. Yes, they're kind of like, this month is lame, so then just throw them in the trash. Then, like, that's fine. Like, just or don't climb.
I mean,
log in.
We are gonna get Necromancer class, so those experience scrolls will come in handy.
Yes,
and I can always use those tripods in like in dungeons that I'm not actually having trouble, or during
that's
PvP.
Exactly what I do.
Just
I don't make potions anymore. I just carry the trash pots around with me. I'm like, meh, whatever. These are fine.
Whenever there's something actually difficult going on, then I craft potions. Otherwise, it's just the crown tripods that I keep receiving.
That we all have 1 million of at this point. Yeah. That's all the news, though. They left a little thank you. They said, we're constantly humbled by and thankful to the amazing ESO community for continuing to support us through 2018 and beyond. The players are what makes this game great, and these awards prove it. From everybody here at ZOS, thank you, and get ready for an even bigger 2019.
Well, thank you, ZOS.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to buy with them, but I will.
I am saving my crowns this time. Because I subbed for a year, I now have over 2,000k crowns because I never buy individual crowns because it's expensive. And,
right.
I typically buy them when they're on sale. Like, I'll buy the big pack when it's on sale because
I mean, it's normally, if it was like, if I was earning what I'm earning in US dollars, I would be like, throw money at the screen. But I am earning at 1/5 of a rate because of the exchange rate, so everything is just scaled up in how expensive they are. But even now, with 1 year sub, I have over 2,000k crowns for the first time because I always did like 3-month subs, so I would have little amounts, and by the time anything came up, I would have spent them. But now that I have in bulk, I'm waiting for something amazing. And this is going to turn into one of those, in Skyrim, you carry potions, like your best potions, and you're like, I might need it later, This fight is not bad, I might need it later. And you end up playing the game with hundreds of potions in your inventory that you never use because you might need it later. I think I'll never spend those 20k crowns because I'll be like, what if they release a house in Sovngarde? I mean, or what if they release this? What if they release a house in Dragons? I don't know, in Whiterun? What if they give us this? And those 20k crowns will be like in my hand forever. With the thought of this.
Side note, I was going to say that Ishifu makes kind of an interesting point. If you don't like free crowns, gift them to somebody.
Exactly.
That's actually a great idea. Just you know what?
Give them away.
Just give them away because there's your protest. Then you didn't want them so badly. Let someone else have them that enjoys them.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's perfect community building.
I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, but you can be a little bitter, but gift it forward. Yeah. Pass it on.
Exactly. As Ranger would say, foster positivity.
Yep, exactly. I was just going to say that, man.
We need those.
Turn something you don't like into something that's not.
I do think he left.
We need those printed out, like foster positivity in a proper font, like a logo, printed out, made into physical objects that you can just carry around, And then when someone's... When someone is like acting up, just throw it in their face.
I was going to say, you just throw it like a shark
Ninja Star. Ninja Star them a card that says foster positivity.
Yep.
With casual Ranger's little dude like this.
Yeah, doing a little like thing.
Yep, that's what it. That is their next moneymaker.
Love it.
Oh man.
So was that the end of the news?
Yeah, that's all there was this week.
All right. In that case, it is time for our tales. So I see that Lotus has a bit more tales than you, Promethean. So I'll let you start first, and then I'll let you rest your voice until your section comes up.
Performance.
Oh god. So this week, while mentally preparing for this performance that I'm about to give, I've been slammed with homework this week. I've had my first full week of classes, ironically 6 weeks into the semester. So I got on one night and with the of friends, I went around on my very low Sork, who's level 22, who I never play, dressed him up in the Mana Marco costume, and just had like an all-around blast running around in my house taking screenshots of different kinds. So if anyone's interested, there's quite a few on my Twitter that you can go and look at, and I will definitely have more, because he's just the most like ominous little Sork with his Mana Marco costume, and it is super fun. Screenshots are probably one of like my favorite things to do in the game. So
that screenshot mode is wonderful that they added. Yes. So I don't need to disable my HUD chunk by chunk.
Wait.
Yeah,
screenshot. Hold on. What's screenshot mode?
Okay, so I think it came out with
Somerset.
Was it Somerset? Yeah, they actually put in a screenshot mode. It's in like your options
under video.
Video. It'll disable everything in your HUD, and until you cast something, it won't bring your HUD back up. So you can just snap pictures with no HUD.
I did find out that it doesn't remove, like, I always have health bars on because I'm a healer, so those I have to manually turn off. And like the pointers over people's heads, I have to turn those off. So things that you have to manually turn off, but it eliminates like your skill bar, your health bars, your buff bar. If you're in a group, it eliminates those. Your quest thing is gone. Like the stuff that you can't actually turn off, or I don't know how to turn off, it turns that off.
To think that taking screenshots is my favorite thing, and I did not know that.
You didn't know that.
You didn't know this?
Good thing I'm not running a podcast or anything about Elderscrolls Online.
Yeah, it's been out for almost like 6 months
I think you're right.
now.
It dropped with Somerset, I think.
8 months, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, it made taking screenshots during Mid-Year Mayhem much easier for me, because I was just like, screenshot mode, because I used to one by one, and I'm like, this is obnoxious, and people would be like smashing me while I was doing it. Now it's just click, and then I can attack once I get my screenshot.
Yeah, it is super nice. And then I did the Vardenfell dailies, and like I said, I ran a House of Fabrication last night, which was super fun. But I've been really just kind of getting on and doing that, taking screenshots, honestly. That's been my tales this week.
All right. Well, you have more tales than I do, because I got nothing. I didn't log into ESO this week at all.
I mean, it started with anything,
I do have some tales. One day I decided to log into ESO. I realized there's an update on Steam, which was strange, but I thought, okay, maybe, they did an API change, now ESO has to adapt. I started updating, and it's like 20 gigabytes of downloading. All right, okay, something went wrong, apparently. I completed the update, pressed play, it started reinstalling from scratch.
Oh, that's
right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, yes. So I paused, I went into my files, I copied everything, I deleted the files, I copied them back, tried the usual way of getting Steam to recognize your files, tried a bunch of things, nothing worked. I uninstalled, I re-downloaded, but during all this I ended up updating Elite Dangerous, so so now I'm playing that for a bit. Yeah. Kind of switched around there for a bit, but yeah, that's my tales, fighting with Steam. All right, what about you, Lotus? I see some unpleasant stuff in your...
Well, all right, so I didn't actually do that much. So I've been messing with Battlegrounds in between doing just other things. I haven't really been doing the event because I've completed everything from Vardenfell, and I'll get the tickets for the next event. So I've just been messing around with Battlegrounds a little bit. I've noticed there's a few achievements in Battlegrounds that I don't have, i.e. doing like 500,000 damage to other players in like a single match. Real hard to do when your only role is to tank the flag and be annoying. Yeah, not going great with my build. So I'm messing around with trying to make a more offensive PvP build for my character, just see if I can generate some more damage. And hit or miss, so hopefully I'll find something that's a little more effective next time, but that's the bulk of what I was doing in Battlegrounds.
Brainstorm with Gallisner.
Yes. I may or may not have based most of my stuff on Gallisner's suggested so far along the way.
He understands our play style. of
Yes.
needing to be tanky, whatever happens.
Regardless of what else I'm doing.
Yes. So, like, definitely the builds he comes up with, they are totally not best in slot. But it fits us and our needs to be tanky while still being able to do something. So
Right.
He's good with that stuff. He comes up with a bunch of different weird combinations. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of that has actually been built on stuff he suggested over time. I kind of like make down little notes, and I've been just mishmashing stuff together. And like I said, I mean, I went from 4 and 5 kills and like maybe a death or 2 in a game, but then like a bunch of objectives to now I'm up to like 8 or 9 kills a game. So it's like, okay, I'm more offensive, but hopefully I can find something a little more offensive to just pop some of those things on my character. I finished the Murkmire prologue, all 150 of them.
Nice.
They are done.
I will never do those.
Yeah, I mean, they were fine for a while, but 150 of brutal.
Yeah.
So that is done. I'm very pleased. I can actually Murkmire, which will be nice. And then finally, I had a VDSA run, which was not really, it was to show somebody VDSA clear for the first time. And she underplayed exactly how good she was. Because we managed to get my fastest clear of VDSA ever, which I think our final time was 1 hour and 17 minutes, which was pretty speedy.
Yes, for VDSA,
that was. I know we like just were on the leaderboards for a while and then got bumped off right before reset. So I was like, lame. But that was a good run. Hadn't done VDSA in a while, so it was kind of nice to actually do that again. If you haven't done it, at least do it on normal. It is kind of long, but it's an enjoyable experience. And then the final thing that I have was spurred from a discussion I had with some of my friends. We were talking about Loremaster stuff and how, this is kind of back to Lawrence Schick, spurring most of this episode. Well, we were talking about some of the previous people, including Michael Kirkbride, and somebody had mentioned that they were reading some of the 36 Lessons of Vivek. I actually just finished listening to them all on tape because there's a podcast called Skyrim Addict Book Club, and they also have their new part of it called Arkhaniir Edition. And somebody does all 36 lessons. It's like an hour long. And I brought up the fact that, well, they're really interesting sounding, but like this dude is a madman. Like clever, but he's a madman. And they were like, well, yeah, but could you imagine trying to write that? And I said, I bet I can write something that ridiculous. It might not be as eloquent. So in tribute, I unfortunately, Aggelos is not here, but in honor of Aggelos also making an Arkhaniir-inspired character in ESO, I wrote the only lesson of Arkhaniir, as there will never be another one written. And this will put Arkhaniir permanently in the lore of Elder Scrolls. So here we go. 1 becomes 2, and 42 leads to 8. The central calls providing safety from the blood and badge. Lucid machinations left behind in favor of sin. How does he arrive in the lands of Nirn? A lizard under the wings of a bird. Love and shame forever remembered in the second. The ending of the words is Ark Egg Prolo. Which, if you spend the time to actually decipher that, all of that is just based on Arkhaniir's tales in the last 2 episodes. And I turned it into ridiculous poetry, written and in honor of the 4 of us instead of Sylvie.
That's awesome.
I got one question.
Sure.
Yesterday when I checked these notes,
they came in last minute, so you couldn't change them.
No. You had something called Altmerelos there, so I assumed you had created a character called Altmerelos to tease Aggelos as well. And today, I'm getting to this episode like, oh man, Lotus made a character called Altmerelos. This is going to be fun. Now it's my turn to tease Ag. And I look back at the notes just before the show, and it's like, well, it's gone. Instead, there's Arkhaniir, and it's like, but where is it? Where did it go, Lotus? What happened to it?
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's my lore in honor of Chick. One final lore thing in his name. So now you're part of permanent lore, Ark.
Not like this.
not like this.
Not this way. It's too late. As Lawrence would say, the lore belongs to us. And,
and I'm taking the reins on that.
It's too late.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, one day.
But that's it for me. And I'm out.
Mic
Drops the
drop.
microphone, yeah. Don't do it for real, though. It's going to be difficult to edit.
Yeah, that'll make an awful sound if I actually drop this thing and weighs like pounds.
Oh god.
Well, Promethean, now that you enjoyed that,
time.
do you know what this brings us to?
I do. I know exactly what this brings us to. So, for those of you who listened previously, probably about a month or two ago now, I did I can't remember what they're called. They're like the question and answer forums for different. Why can't I think of what they actually call them?
Q&As?
The Loremaster archives.
Yes,
the
Loremaster Archives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Those. So it was a Murkmire themed one, and I did it all in an Argonian. And last week or the week before, someone had mentioned that I should sing the Undaunted song in that same voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a promise that I would. So you are all in for a treat of me reciting the Undaunted song in the Argonian voice. And
I'm muting so that I don't unintentionally laugh and ruin this.
This is going to be really hard. If I make it through this without laughing or screwing up, there will be more of these. If you enjoy these, please let me know if you have other suggestions of Elder Scrolls themed music and or poetry from the Elder Scrolls that I can do in this, since it seems to be a favorite. It might take me a minute though, because I kind of forgot how I did this. So please just bear with me while I work through this. All right. To the new meat, may they never wet their pants except from drink. To the new meat, whose best attack is showing their face. To the new meat, too brave to run, too dumb to dodge. To the new meat, don't die. Who knows no fear of beasts or blades. Who undaunted. Who knows no fear of Daedric plains. We are undaunted. Who knows no fear of death, of age. Undaunted. We are undaunted. Oh my god, that took everything out of me to try and figure that out. Time.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was.
You really could fill in for an Argonian.
I probably could. I mean, I spent enough time with them that like I'm basically one of them. I do think that my original was much better. I'll have to practice my accent for future.
Singing is different, but also I love how monotone it is. Like
that's the only way.
That's the thing. Is like doing anything be literally devoid of any type of
you can't have any emotion. Like no.
Yeah.
It's so challenging. Oh, it seems to be popular. This is
I'm a fan.
Well,
so yeah, look forward to more of those.
Mm-hmm. I also liked Ark with his undaunted table response too, just like the rest of the NPC.
This is actually a good point to mention. We are actually thinking about ways to increase our interaction with you guys on like either through comments, emails, YouTube, Twitter, any platform that you're on. Yeah. And like if you got any suggestions, the way you would feel is a good way to interact with us. We are working on a way to do that during the show as well as outside the show. And as Promethean just said, like, if you have any suggestions for more songs for Promethean to sing, you can leave them as YouTube comments. You can send us a message or a mention on Twitter. You can send us an email. You can drop a comment on the website. Let's see. You can message us on Facebook. Pretty much anywhere you can find us, you can contact us with these stuff. Ask questions. Tell us to discuss something that you want it discussed on the show. You want a new section? Let us know. Pretty much anything. And I mean, it's difficult to interact with chat during the show because of the podcast format. I mean, both Lotus and I stream individually as well. And when you are streaming, it's a lot easier to just stop what you're doing, stop what you are talking about, and interact with chat. But in a podcast format, it's a bit more difficult as well. But we are thinking about ways to increase that too. Maybe a post-show section that we, do our usual outro and then stay on, keep chatting, things like that. But if you got any suggestions as well, ways that you would think would be good or things that we can do to increase that interaction, let us know. Again, in any platform that you feel comfortable with, and we'll work on those. Yeah.
I love some. Oh, that's a good one. I'll give a new poem for next week. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right. Already.
From,
nice.
Yeah. Someone in chat posted a good one, so I'm gonna make sure I type it and get that for next week.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's.
All right. Am I missing anything else? I mean, I think we covered the entire show.
I think so.
Yeah, this was a good show.
Yeah, I feel like, we didn't derail. So that's always an accomplishment.
Yeah. Or we derailed in a good way, I guess.
This is
I don't
true.
know. Well, it is what it is. I'm going to put a section in the show notes called derail, just like a command, derail. And whenever we derail now, it's going to be part of the show. It'll be planned. Yeah, from now on. Yeah, see, we fixed that. And
we'll just type it into the show notes. That way it seems...
Yep. Yeah, proper fix right there.
Yeah. No derailment anymore.
Exactly.
Oh. While I'm looking at chat, Benevolent mentioned bloopers and outtakes. Nobody saw the video from that Ark posted.
All right, let me link that in chat.
Earlier this week of all of our audio tests.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Definitely go check that out. He's going to post it in chat.
I'm going to actually start doing that. More.
Just do that was so good.
We are also working on, so I am recording both pre-shows and post-shows as well, which I'm going to compile into I guess you could call them bloopers and outtakes. We record the actual show live, so we don't have any bloopers and outtakes. Everything happens on the spot. But before we start, before we start the live show and after the live show, there are, off-topic discussions, things like that. Not always family-friendly as the show itself.
Yes, I'm very censored for this.
I am compiling them as well. So probably every few weeks, maybe every month, I'll try to compile them into a video, and it'll be up, or it might be Patreon exclusive. I don't know. I've got to
for like a reward about that. Patreon.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. But I'll definitely be doing more of videos like the audio test video.
Yes, that was definitely check that out if you haven't yet. That was a super fun.
All right, well, I guess it is time to end the show. Any last discussion? Thoughts? I was gonna say any last words, but it was like any final thoughts is more
appropriate at this point.
Any final words, Promethean?
One of us is about to get Blade of Woad in the back. Which will it be?
Probably me. My cat's sleeping, but is he really? Is that little Khajiit actually asleep?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything from my perspective. That was I'm actually surprised that this lasted as long as it was. For some reason I was thinking this was going to be a more shallow show. It's like, all right, well, 2 hours later, I guess.
We had a lot of editions though, like with Aggelos Cookbook, things like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Well, then where can people find you, Promethean?
You can find me on Twitter or on PlayStation at Promethean99. As you'll note in chat, it's 01 because someone has my username. I don't understand how, but they have it. So that's where you can find me.
And Lotus, what about you?
I'm Lotus of Doom on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. Some people have found me on Legendly. I do hope that I didn't oversell myself as being mediocre, because if I can of my games, it's a miracle. I'm pretty bad at CCGs, I've learned, but they're fun. But what do you call it? Otherwise, I am Lotus OD on Twitch until I can manage to get that corrected at some point. This is becoming my quest, and it's not going well. But yes, as you probably also saw, I will have communication with myself via the actual Tales of Tamriel Twitter account.
Yes.
In a Shia Gorath style way recently, apparently, since Ark's made a huge grievous error by giving me the login information.
Yes.
So if you see something incredibly off topic and pretty dumb, that's probably me. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. But yeah, that's pretty much the places you can find me.
All right, well, you can find me anywhere that is Arkhaniir, ARKHANIIR, Twitch, Twitter, Gmail, whatever, things like that. Also, we may have figured out the frame drops issue on live stream. Discord is using up 35% of my CPU, along with 25% from Streamlabs. So if I can reduce the usage of Discord in some way, hopefully we'll have better live streams as well. And yeah, you can follow everything we do over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show, as well as consider leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast that we say real words, and sometimes it matters. I almost got it this time.
You are so close.
Yeah,
I was like, just holding my tongue. I was like, he's gonna get it.
But thank you for joining us on this episode of Tales of Tamriel. We'll hope to see you next time. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seir it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magic effused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.